Hi, Bear from Hobby Detectors here. What I want to do today is run you through how to set up and use the Bounty Hunter Tracker 4 metal detector. We're going to talk through the sensitivity and discrimination controls, and this should give you a good idea about how they work and the best setups for you to use when you're out detecting. Okay, so let's set up our Tracker 4 for first use. First thing we're going to have to do, of course, is to turn it on, and we do that using the sensitivity control here. You'll hear that click, and the detector is now on. And what I'm going to do is wind my sensitivity all the way up. Now normally we'd want to run on the highest sensitivity that we can, but if you're in built up areas you'll start to get chatter on the detector. You'll see the indicator needle here moving and you'll hear a clicking sound. We're a bit out of town here, so there's not much electrical background noise, so we can actually run very high sensitivity here, but typically you'll need to back it off to about 3 o'clock. If you're working near power lines, you may need to back the sensitivity off even further. So run it as high as you can, but without getting any background chatter. So that is our sensitivity control. The next thing we're going to do is set our discriminator. And at the moment, what I'm going to do is have the discriminator off. In other words, I'm going to be in all metal mode. That is with this switch in the middle position. When the Tracker 4 is set with all metal selected, the switch in the middle position, we can pick up any conductive metallic object. And I'm going to demonstrate that now on a variety of targets. Okay, so now we're in all metal mode, and I'm going to run the coil now over a variety of different targets, and we'll see what sort of response we get. So on our old iron nail, the rusty nail, picking that up loud and clear. Aluminium pull tab, no problems. An Australian $1 coin, a pre-decimal copper coin, Australian penny, a Chinese coin from the gold rush, a lead bullet. So as you can see, all of these targets we're getting loud and clear. Let's move on to gold now. So a 14 karat gold wedding ring. It's a blend of gold and silver, no problems at all. A 7 gram gold nugget, natural gold nugget, certainly picking that up without any trouble, and proving that the Tracker 4 is fine for detecting gold. And even down to fine pieces here, we've got a 1 gram gold nugget, and we're able to pick that up as well. So the Tracker 4 clearly demonstrating its sensitivity to a wide variety of metals, including fairly small gold. So now that we've seen the Tracker 4 in all metal mode, and you can see it's a very capable detector, it'll pick up all different types of metal, and it's actually quite sensitive. It'll even pick up small pieces of gold, so it's a great all-round detector. But there's a lot more iron in the ground than there is gold rings, coins and gold nuggets, that's for certain. So it really helps us if we can eliminate iron, and we can do that in two ways, either using discriminate mode or using tone mode. So now I'm going to demonstrate these two settings. First of all, I'm just going to put it into disc or discriminate mode, and now I'm going to run over those targets again. What I'm going to do is wind up my discrimination level to a point where I can happily eliminate the things that I really don't want to dig, and that will be the rusty nail and the aluminium pull tab, and then we'll see what the effect is on the other targets. So now I've switched the detector into discriminate mode, but I've got the discrimination control set all the way down. So as I go over the nail, we're still picking that up. So I'm going to turn up my discrimination level on that right hand control, and as it fades away, and now I'm not picking up the nail at all. And I'm not picking up the aluminium pull tab. So that's great. I can now cover some ground, and I'm rejecting those two types of item. Our coins, they're still being picked up. Copper coin. Our Chinese coins disappeared, and that's made of bronze. That's slightly different composition to these other coins. And how about our lead and gold? I'll head over to those targets, and now I'm not picking those up either. So this is a very aggressive level of discrimination here, which is rejecting a lot of things that I probably wouldn't want to reject. I definitely want to be picking up this gold nugget over here. Next we're going to try the detector in tone mode. And again, I'm going to adjust the discrimination level control to a level that I'm happy with. Now what you're going to see here, in tone mode we get a variety of sounds. In all metal or discrimination mode, we just get the one high-pitched beep as we go over metal. In tone mode, we can now get a low pitch and a high pitch, and that gives us an indication as to what the target is that is underneath the coil. And we use that to decide whether we're going to dig the target or not. We'll still eliminate iron completely, but now coins, gold, the lead bullet and etc. are going to give us different sounds. And there's actually three levels, because there's an intermediate sound which we may or may not hear. Sometimes it'll flick between the high pitch and the low pitch, and that gives us that intermediate setting. And as you get familiar with where to set this and using the tone mode, this is the most powerful mode to use the detector in, and it's the way I would recommend using the detector always, is in tone mode and learning how the level of discrimination behaves on certain targets, and after time you'll learn quite well what sounds mean what targets. Okay, so now I've got the detector set to tone mode. We're going to go over the same targets again. Now, our nail, that is eliminated. Our aluminium pull tab, still a very distinct sound, but it's a low pitch. It gives us an idea of what it might be. Our $1 coin is split between, you can hear that, a low pitch and a high pitch. Whereas our pre-decimal copper coin, clear high pitch. Copper is very conductive. Anything that's highly conductive will give us that high pitch sound. Chinese coin, distinctly low pitch. It's made of bronze. Our lead bullet, low pitch. And what about our gold objects? Our wedding ring, no problems. Our 7-gram gold nugget, no problems. And our small gold nugget, well, it's there, but it's not as strongly there as earlier. So we've lost some sensitivity. And when you use discrimination, typically you will lose some sensitivity. It is still there, but only just. So if we're in a patch of fine gold, and that's what we're targeting, we would be best to go back to all metal mode, and then we can actually pick up that fine gold quite easily. It might mean we dig a few nails or other bits of iron, but that might be a small price to pay if we're on a good patch. Otherwise, in most detecting situations, I would recommend the use of tone. As you get practiced, the different signals that you get will give you an idea of what target you've got, and you'll learn more about detecting as you go and how your detector operates. Okay. So there you have the Bounty Hunter Tracker 4 detector. As you can see, it's a very capable and very easy to use detector. It auto ground balances. You really only have to worry about your sensitivity control and your discrimination setting. And in most circumstances, I would use the tone mode, except perhaps when chasing a patch of small gold, I might use all metal mode, but that depends on your application. Great value for money. You cannot go wrong with one of these. They're really easy to use and a great way to get into metal detecting if you want to try it out as a hobby. Good luck.